喂 ，hello， 大家好啊！今日出外景啊，咁啊，嚟咗呢度列斯，今日嚟咗列斯，咁一陣間會去呢間東方城酒樓飲茶。咁上次飲過都 OK 嘅，咁啊，承記食品就好大間中超喺佢樓下，通常都拉住㗎，咁就唔好問我即係黃定藍啦嚇，我唔知啊，我唔夠膽講，我只可以講我唔知啫，係啊，咁啊點解專登咁早去喺呢度嚟錄一錄咧？因為咧呢度都有間即係馬來西亞正骨師個徒弟喺度開嘅，咁就係呢間 Jeffrey， 睇到先，係啦，就係呢間啦。鐵打你睇住，係啊，咁佢我就睇過一次，咁就都我覺得都 OK 正宗嘅，但係咧就始終都貴啲啦。咁同埋你知好多時啲嘢唔係話你執完就斷尾，咁啊大概我問佢就話半年到即刻執啦，但係就你預港紙1600蚊左右，係啊。咁啊160幾磅上次，咁好啦，我入去行中超，咁啊費事影人啲鋪頭啦，係啊，咁就一陣間睇下再錄就再睇下combine到埋一齊啦嚇。
And limb for your benefit, but as inspiring as their example undoubtedly is, please do not follow it.
咁嚟到列斯軍械博物館啊，咁啊睇咗表演先，晨早買咗飛，咁啊唔阻大家聽佢講嘅英文啊。
No less obviously, please do not be tempted to sit on that far back wall. You might think you're going to get a better view, but there is a very long drop on the other side.
In the highly unlikely, near impossible chance that it could potentially rain, please do not be tempted to shelter under the central canopy because you will be blocking the emergency exits.
However, if there is a fire, we now all know that the emergency exits are under the canopy.
And in the unlikely event that it rains and there's a fire, we'll all be very conflicted.
Now, with all the splintering lances, it does occasionally happen that a little bit of lance, and maybe even a coronel, will come flying over the fence towards you in the audience. As tempting as it may be, please do not try to catch them. However, please return them to a member of staff. We do need those coronels for the rest of the competition. Do, however, feel free to follow us on all of our social media channels for exclusive behind-the-scenes content and take as many photos and videos as you like. And if you will tag us in those photos and videos, we will be sharing our favourites across all of our social channels.
And can all responsible adults, there must be at least one or two of you amongst the audience today, please make sure that our younger visitors also follow these rules.
Now, we can't emphasise enough, this is a real competition that the elite competitors take very, very seriously indeed. As well as helping to steer your way through that competition, my job is to keep all of the scores and to do the maths. However, the unenviable task of judging this competition falls to neither myself nor Richard, but rather a veteran jouster whose knowledge and experience amply qualifies them to do the job and whose judgment is respected by the other competitors. Up in our lovely balcony area, we have our Knight Marshal, Gordon Summers. A big hand, please.
And please, can you keep that applause going as we welcome to the tilt yard our two mounted squires, Jonathan Buster Brown and Andy Dean.
Now, to give you a little bit of background information about Gordon, our Knight Marshal. Gordon is an actor, presenter, adventurer and jouster, first jousting at Temple Museum in 1994 and competing in the very first international joust here at the Royal in 2000, just to name a few. He's featured in many historical television shows, the BBC, Channel 4 and National Geographic.
Of course, our two mounted squires are also seasoned veteran jousters and will be aiding Mr. Summers during the competition. First up, Andy Dean, who has worked for the museum for the last 30 years and has earned a reputation as an international jousting champion. He himself is the winner of 5 jousting competitions, 4 here in England and 1 in Australia.
Then on the other side, our other mounted squire that we can see there in red, that is Jonathan Buster Brown, a professional horseman for 25 years, competed in over 100 jousting competitions, including the Golden Swan and the Silk Swan here at the Royal Armouries. He's also an actor, martial artist, and a fight choreographer.
Now, good gentlefolk, the Royal Armouries August Bank Holiday Tournament features some of the most coveted prizes in the jousting world today. This summer, our jousting competition is a celebration of homegrown jousters, all of whom have competed at the Royal Armouries in previous years. They will form 2 teams. One will represent the Royal Armouries itself, and the other the challengers. So we have home and away. They will be competing for not only glory and recognition in the jousting world, but a prize generously donated by our friend and partner, Knit Hoggermead.
But because courage, strength and skill are not enough alone to make a knight, there's also going to be a prize for courtesy that runs throughout the competition, whether the knights are on horseback, tilting or not. And finally, there is a prize, the chivalric carousel, which is the first part of the competition here this afternoon.
So we will invite our 2 mounted squires of Jonathan Buster Brown and Andy Dean to take part in this chivalric carousel for your amusement before the competition.
You will observe we have various pieces of equipment around this tilt yard, and for reasons we will now explore, riding at the rings and at the quintain was a great way to train a young squire and a knight in preparation for a joust. But these were recognised as medieval courtly sports in their own right. Nothing gave a squire or a knight greater pleasure than to throw up a quintain in a town square only to smash it to bits competitively. The first challenge we have for our squires is the cut and thrust, simulating a tourney in which knights would fight one another on horseback with swords and clubs. We have an equally deadly foe, the cabbage, which is placed up on our post just there. We want our riders to run past the cabbage on their horse, slice through the cabbage, and then get the end of their sword and thrust it into the heart that you can see our lovely member of ground crew holding up there, which will be inserted onto this sprung post. The idea of this is they have to thrust it into the heart and then carry it away on the end of their sword. A successful cut into the cabbage is 2 points, and a thrust into the heart and carrying it away is 3. If they thrust and it falls and they don't carry it, it's only 2. And depending on mine and Richard's discretion, we might award them for a point for a thrust that goes anywhere near the target. But it really does depend on how generous we feel. Over to you, Andy, on Goliath. Lovely cut. Well, I do applaud the effort. I think, Richard, what do you think? I've got 3 points in total.
I would agree with that, yes. Unfortunately, he was not able to carry the heart, but a very valiant effort nonetheless.
Our heart is back in position. Our next rider, Buster Brown, our ground crew safely out of the way. Oh, beautiful cut.
Oh!
Very nice. That is full 5 points. That's a thrust. Just allowing Bobby to do another rotation.
Yes, do please applaud them as they go past. Very generous. Now, up next for the competition will be tackling the rings. This challenge is superb for getting your land sight in and making sure your horse is ready and willing for the joust. You'll notice across our tilt barrier in the middle of the arena, 3 rings that are attached to 3 posts. Using sharp pointy lances, known as carousel lances, our knights or our mounted squires will have to ride past and hook the rings onto the sharp pointy lances, carry them away with them. We'll be awarding 2 points if they're able to carry away a ring, 1 point for dislodging, and no points if they miss.
Anti-Dean first on Goliath. That is still a respectable 1 point.
穿唔到啊！
Recessing the rings.
要再嚟啦。
And now that brings us nicely onto our final. No, it's not. Not me. It's Buster Brown. Nearly skipped your go, Buster. Shame on me. So
好啦，睇住咁多先啦，咁多位，因為我舉到手軟啊。咁啊，如果有咩睇下會後補啊，我應該仲有啲表演嘅，穿蘋果啊咁樣樣。有興趣嘅下年可以嚟睇下。
Doubling for actors in television and film.
Riding behind them, we have our next rider, Stacey Vandola Evans. Stacey is a producer of the Arundel International Tournament. His motto is Mors aut Gloria, Death or Glory, and has also one of England's finest jousters. Stacey has ridden horses since childhood and at a competitive level, progressing into the mounted 15th century cavalry and tournaments in 1999. Stacey regularly competes internationally and comes to the tournament with an impressive winning record with victories in England, France, America and Poland. In 2016, he won victory in jousting and melee here at the Royal Armouries.
And finally, but by no means least, fighting also alongside with the challengers, we have Simon John, whose motto is Deus Pascit Curvos, God feeds the ravens. Simon has been jousting for 3 years, but has been riding for 9. And this year he has jousted in France as part of the England...
Freddie! Simon is jousting for Freddie today!
And Mike will be jousting for Charlie! Give it a Charlie, everybody!
Stacey, I invite you to bestow your favour. If you're trying to get attention, shout, cheer!
And on this side, make sure they can fight the boys whatever she is about to choose to shoot, right?
Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh!
So it appears that Stacey is jousting for Terence!
Oh!
And Emma will be jousting for Isla! Give it a Isla, everybody! Now, as our knights and the squires make their final adjustments to their armour and saddlery, I will pass over to our Knight Marshal, Gordon Summers, who will explain what the knights are aiming at, what the scorers are looking out for, and most importantly, how the scoring will actually work during this competition. So over to you, Gordon.
Thank you very much, Richard. And welcome to everyone to the armouries. Now, my role as Marshal is to see that the joust is conducted in accordance with the rules and within the spirit of chivalry. Now, think of me as a referee. My job is impossible without the 2 gentlemen you see in the yellow and black livery. So please welcome Mike over there. And to my left, Andrew. Now, their role will become very apparent very shortly. Now, the knights are going to be judged on how they hit and where they hit. and those two pieces of information will be passed to me by Andrew and Mike and their own particular form of semaphore. For example, a good hit is indicated thus. Arm in the air indicates a good hit. Now a poor or illegal hit is demonstrated thusly. Arm to the side, no. If there is no strike at all, the arms go down, legs akimbo, no strike. So that is how they hit. Now, moving on to where they hit. There are different targets and they attract different points. For example, a strike to the arm is worth 1 point. So a good strike to the arm is demonstrated thus. A strike to the helm is similarly 1 point and demonstrated thusly. Good strike to the head. You'll be getting the hang of this soon. Strike to the breastplate is worth 2 points and is demonstrated correct. Some of you got it already. The best points at all are awarded for hitting the target. That is the shield-like object on the left-hand side of our knight's breastplates. So 3 points, good strike to the targe. There are no points awarded at all for a sweeping blow, demonstrated thus. And because safety is paramount, there are no points whatsoever for any low blows that even vaguely threaten a horse. Now, so that is how and where. The velocity of the hit is also measured. The closer the break is to the hand, will indicate how hard the hit was made. So any remaining fragment of lance, if it measures up against the end of my marshal's baton, that will be awarded a prize. Similarly, I can award prizes for good horsemanship, and I can ask people to leave the field if their behaviour is not in keeping with the order of chivalry. So that is it. These are the very best jousters that you will find in the world. They take their sport very seriously and they take your entertainment very seriously. So relax and enjoy them.
Thank you very much, Knight Marshal. You can see that our knights are just doing a few practice passes to make sure everything is as it should be. You will notice at the beginning of every pass, our Knight Marshal will signal the knights to go with a laissez-aller. We welcome you all to shout alongside laissez-aller. Now I do believe that our first pass will be between Simon John for the challengers at the lockkeeper's end and Mike Collin at the stable end.
So, after our jousters have finished their practice passes, we'll make sure we have Simon John at the lockkeeper's end and Mike Collin at the stable end. I believe everyone has had a practice pass.
It looks as
So
though
in a moment we will begin the first pass of this afternoon's competition. Simon just getting into place there. I believe Mike has been given his lance. He is ready to go.
adjustments being made to Simon's horse.
Let's say alley!
Wow, a smashing start for this afternoon's competition, if you'll pardon the pun. Now we are going to go to the scores in just a moment, but I will announce the second pass will be between Stacey from the lockkeeper's end for the challengers and Emma at the stable end for the Royal Armouries. Now, over to the scores. Andrew, how did Mike do? An illegal strike across the body for Mike, so I'm afraid that's no points.
1 point.
let's begin our penultimate pass now. I believe both our knights are in position. Simon for the challengers, Emma for the Royal Armouries.
Laissez aller!
For our final pass of this afternoon's competition, it will be Stacey for the challengers versus Mike for the Royal Armouries. But before that, let's go to the scores. Andrew. That's a good strike to the Taj for Emma and the Royal Armouries.
Over to our other scoring block, Mike. How did Simon do?
Good strike! Arm!
Good strike to the arm. 1 point there. Over to our Knight Marshal.
Point for Emma for a good break, and points for both of them for horsemanship.
Okay, so that means that on that pass, Simon scored 2 points and Emma scored the full 5 points.
Now time for the final pass of this afternoon's competition. Stacey for the challengers versus Mike for the Royal Armouries.
Laissez aller! Laissez
What an explosive pass to end on. Over to the scores for the final time. Andrew, how did Mike do? A brilliant strike to the Taj for Mike and the Royal Armouries.
Okay, on to our other scoring block. Mike, how did Stacey do?
Good strike!
Good
Arm!
strike! Over to our Knight Marshal.
both are awarded points for breakages and both for horsemanship.
咁啊，頭先睇完表演，咁依家就去呢個軍械博物館，咁啊睇一睇啦。咁啊轉頭就會入去，咁出邊門口都有啲攤位嘅。咁我咁啱有檔酒喺度啊，好好。轉頭行到入去，再繼續影。 睇下會唔會有咩驚喜啊！今日，因為我今日都幾多朋友啊，唔知你收唔收到啊？頭先啲收音唔知收唔收，因為我都幾多朋友今日一班10幾個啊嘛，幾家人過嚟玩下。好，咁呢度都係講啲軍械歷史啦。 戰爭史啦，應該上面有隻好靚嘅馬，好，哇！有個紀念品館喎，咁啊一陣間再睇下，我入去睇啲嘢先。有一啲以前嘅頭盔啊、劍啊。 但係佢有價錢喎，係咪賣嘅咧？佢有價錢嘅喎，係咪賣㗎？
應該係啊。
104磅唔係貴喎，104磅買一把翻屋企擺㗎。
唔係貴係抵啊！
係咯，
買
鐵嚟㗎喎，大佬先1400蚊。
我哋上一次睇嗰間一樣咯。
喂，上次你五度嗰個都有間，
又好平，黐線。我哈利波特嗰邊人啊，我嗰邊都有嗰間喎。
高大嗰個。
係咯，有啲嗰個嘢。
有嗰啲武士刀啊，有嗰啲
喂，大家一齊揾到啦。
砌晒每樣嘢都係砌啲花出嚟啊！用啲武器啊、矛啊、盔甲啊、刀啊。咁啊，第一個展館啊，咁啊，乜都國家都有啲啦，係啊，咁啊睇下啲裝備啊、軍備，有清朝啊，有土耳其啊、戰馬啊，你見到嗰邊有隻大象啊、戰象啊咁樣，因為頭先本來錄咗一段少少，就唔小心開咗個閃光燈啊。因為佢比較黑口 ，iPhone 可能自己開，咁啊，所以我依家都唔落咁多啦，係。但係啲嘢就真係好靚，啲古董，樣樣都好精雕細琢，啲鎖指甲啊、馬嘅甲啊，同埋一啲土耳其嘅槍，哇！嗰個雕花靚到咧〜唔知聽唔聽到啊？頭先土耳其嘅槍啊，呢個雕花靚到，啲花好靚，好中意呢啲花，好似瓷器做出嚟。好啦，我唔錄咁多啦，部手機都唔夠電啦，我驚。好，睇下翻可唔可以剪埋一齊啦。咁我啊，其他你哋有機會又你見到日本啦，日本都有喺度，日本嘅軍備。嗰度類似仿兵馬俑啦，咁對面就係清朝。即係佢話18世紀應該係清朝啦，咁啊有機會嘅大家可以過嚟睇下，就免費開放嘅呢個表演。我哋頭先睇表演咧都係銀座位都係10磅一個嘅啫，係啦，咁啊睇下會唔會再錄啦嚇。